Hi there. I'm just making a quick video here to run through RMarkdown, which is Lab 1 that's due here pretty soon. So I thought I would just walk through it again pretty quickly. Where we should be is you should be on the U drive and you get access to the lab. This works best when you're on the network drive. So if you're at the view.truman, if you're on your home machine, it'll also work. Then you download it from the repository. So here inside the U drive, you clicked on empty student file area because remember I'm in the mathematical sciences. My name is Albert, and then you click on stat 220. In there, you'll see our lab 1. It's both in there as a markdown file and as a PDF file. And so you might want to open both of those. When you double click on the PDF file, it opens it up like that. Of course, it's too little. So you make it bigger and you can see what we're going to be getting out of the software when we're all done. So when you open it up as a R file, remember, as soon as you first open R, you should first open your project so that all the files get saved in the right place so you can find them easily later. I called mine Learning R's. You might call yours the name of the class or whatever you want to call it. Once you double click on the RMD file, you should get the file over here on this side. I'm going to make myself small. You probably want to copy that lab to your folder. I always put mine on my Y drive because then I can find it easily later, and you can put it in whatever project or folder you want. So remember, the idea of our markdown is that it's supposed to be an easy way to make pretty output. So all our markdown starts with the stuff up here at the top with the 3 dashes. We call that YAML code. Why? Because YAML ain't markup language, which is coders being clever. And that'll put things like, you could put your name, you could put the title of the document, what kind of output if there's different objects that you set. There's our Markdown cheat sheet that you can download from the RStudio webpage. If you just Google our Markdown cheat sheet, it'll take you right to it and you can get a copy of that. Then everything else that you see just uses that cheat sheet. I never remember the actual code myself. So you can see that the rest of an R Markdown document is really divided into 2 kinds of things. So after your YAML code, you'll have text. So text is just things that you want to look at, things you want to see. And then the second part, which is set off by these 3 back quotes or back apostrophes, is code. So those are called code chunks. So in this document, line 21, 22, 23 is our first code chunk. All code chunk starts with the 3 back quotes, then a curly bracket, and then R, because we're using the R software language. You can actually use other languages with this code. And then you just name the chunk if you want to give it a name. You can put other options in there sometimes, and that's all explained on that cheat sheet. For now, we're just going to be pretty basic. And you can see there's some commands. So in the chunks, you just put your R code. You can run code chunks one at a time just by clicking over here. And when you do that, not surprisingly, 2 + 3 is 5, and 4 × 5 is 20. Otherwise, again, looking at that cheat sheet, you would see anything that goes inside a single asterisk is going to be put in italics. Anything with double is going to be put, double asterisks will be bold. Anything that has a hash tag is going to be title, and if you put 2 hash tags, it'll be a subtitle all the way down. I don't know how many you can go, 4 or 5 or 6 levels. So the whole idea is you can put all the code, and then when you're all done, you can knit the code, and there's a knit button right here. There are different options depending on what you want to do. I'm going to first knit to PDF. If you knit to PDF, it should work. Sometimes it doesn't quite work so well. You can check down here. It makes a little processing thing so you can see it. Sometimes you'll get this thing. This is actually probably a network problem. And so if you get this and it won't knit right now, you might just want to come back later. One reason people do like to put R on their own computer is because this network problem doesn't really happen. It has to do with the way our virtual machines work. Anyway, I'll pull it up over here. But you can see here's what I had called the title. This was the stuff from the YAML. And then as you put various things in, it's going to give you the output that you might want to see. That's actually the old one. There we go. And so you can see here's all of our output. As you add to it, it will start putting the different graphs and things in it. The other thing you can do is you can knit it as HTML. If you do have trouble with the PDF, which I just did, if you can knit it to an HTML, you can look at it over here, which is one of the options, preview in the viewer pane, or you can make it as a new window. What you might want to do though is you might want to open it in its own browser. And there's a button right here that just says click to open it in a browser. And whichever browser you have, if you're on the lab machine, it'll open it in Internet Explorer, but I have it set so that it will open it in Chrome. Once you get it here, if you do want to turn it into a PDF file, it's actually super easy because then you can just print it as a PDF file. And I'm in my office, so I have my other printers here, but all the different browsers have save as a PDF. So you can turn it into a PDF file that way. And so that's a pretty easy way that you can work with RMarkdown. Again, you can get things into RMarkdown pretty quickly. And what's nice is as you work with it, you can keep updating it, keep viewing it again and again. One reason I do like to use this viewer pane is that you can see if you did it right away and then go in here and fiddle with it as you do that. As I talked about before, things in 1 asterisk become italicized, things in 2 asterisks become bold, things with the single hashtag are in this heading font. The stuff up in the YAML will be here in the big font at the top. So you can do all the things. You notice lab assignments also in that big font because it has the 1 hashtag. If we did want to change that, you could just make that 2 hashtags, and then when you knit it, you can see that it makes it a little bit smaller, or make it very small, like that. So more like a subheading or however far down the line you want to do it. So RMarkdown, like I said, it should be pretty easy to use. If you are having trouble with it, try knitting it to an HTML file instead of a PDF, and then you can save as PDF, and then you got everything working. So, all right, that was just meant to be a short video to kind of get you going on that. If you do have any other trouble, do send me an email, and otherwise I'll talk to you soon. Bye.